on the Mile here in Forestside. I'm with Johnny, Operations Director of Bubba Coppi. And he actually is a chef too, you know. So Johnny's going to do some lovely food with us today, and he's going to talk me through it. And I'm going to ask you some questions, Johnny.
Yeah.
And you can tell me the real answer if you want, or you can make it up. It's up to you. Okay.
Making it up.
So you get started, Johnny. Where you go?
Okay, so I'm going to do 2 dishes. The first dish I'm going to do is going to be a vegan dish of a roasted red pepper, which is going to be blistered and sort of really heavily charred, with a wee bit of sea salt and olive oil. And then we're going to basically roast that off, and we're going to stuff it with a Jan couscous salad, like a warm salad of couscous, fresh herbs, and a bit of...
Stop you there. Jan couscous.
Yep.
People don't know, what is it?
It's actually made of semolina.
Yeah,
it's actually closer to pasta than it is actually.
That's the answer I was looking for. It's more than pasta, isn't it?
You can actually use it as a pasta.
So if I was to go and buy like a bag of couscous and changes behind us here, pour some water over it, and then put the cling film over it, 15 minutes later it's ready. Jan couscous.
This stuff like you have to cook, and you'll find each brand is very different as well, how dry it is or how it's
okay.
This stuff I'll generally cook for about 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
This is here, it's quite a large sort of grain. So with that, obviously, as Stephen says there, it's not enough just to cover it in hot water. You won't penetrate the heat enough for a long enough time. So we're going to boil it.
So think pasta mainly.
Yeah, really, so pretty much similar to pasta, and it's about the same cooking time as like a dried pasta. To be honest, we're talking 6 to 8 minutes. So
influence this dish, Johnny.
It's again very Mediterranean. It's all this quite Spanish sort of influence with a wee bit more of the Middle Eastern sort of, but it's sort of this can be done as a variation.
A bit like a piedmont pepper too, where you have a kind of stuffed,
roasted and stuff.
And do you stuff it with tomato or not?
Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roast the pepper, and then in the meantime I'm going to cook the couscous separately. Yes. And I'm going to fry off the tomato and olive oil with a little bit of fresh lemon.
Like that, yeah, very good.
Bit of salt and pepper, quite neutral and quite sort of fresh, and then we're going to make a lovely fresh Romesco sauce.
I'm getting hungry. Tony's dish was magnificent, so you have to
pip it with a vegan one.
Yes, you do.
Right, so what we're going to do is this is going to take about 8 minutes or so. So I'm going to, and there's just a wee bit of salt in order. So straight in with our
boiling salted water.
Yep,
straight in.
Plenty of salt in there, and then with our couscous.
I'll take that for you. Just use me as your comment.
Okay, and then in the meantime, I'm going to basically blister this pepper. So there's 2 ways you can do this at home. If you're cooking this dish at home, it might be a bit easier.
You want this here, chef?
Yep, it might be a bit easier if you're at home just to sort of roast the pepper straight up in the oven with olive oil. Real high heat, about 230, 240 degrees if you're going to do it at home for about 15 minutes, just till it's nicely dark. But I have a blowtorch here. Or if you do have a gas stove as well, again, the gas stove will replicate what I'm doing here. If you set the pepper on, turn it every sort of 20 seconds. We're just going to do all the surface there.
So you just get a pair of tongs, set on top of your flame.
Keep turning it until it blackens. And the great thing
is... the grill, really close to the grill?
Yep, same again. And the great thing is, it's quite sort of, you get away with a lot with this. If you burn it a wee bit even, the flavour profile is actually quite nice. We're actually purposely burning the skin here, so we are.
And while we're on the wood and the burning, I hear you're a bit of an expert in barbecue.
I've become one over the past year or so, I love it.
And who gave you that title?
Myself. No, I do, I love it.
By the way, this is what us chefs do to each other. We're not being rude. We're just saying that Johnny has really gone into barbecuing. And did that start over lockdown, Johnny?
It did. I got bored. Well, what happened was my wife...
I can't see here, Johnny. You keep talking.
My wife actually bought me a pizza oven. Yes. And from there, I started this idea to build like an outdoor garden, sort of cooking area, and then there's 2 barbecues now and a rotisserie and everything, right? But the pizza, still enjoy the pizza, still love pizza.
So, your house is a house to come to?
It is for sure, if you're looking pizza or barbecue.
Tell me, is there certain, I know we're going off here in a wee bit of a thing, like, but is there certain wood that you would rather cook on? Lump wood, and the bigger the block, the better. Right. And then when it comes to smoking, I quite like maple and hickory. So many different choices now, but maple and hickory would be the 2 sort of good flavour profiles. Slow cooking or quick cooking, or both?
I like a bit of both. Can't beat anything better than a simple smash burger or wings for a quick one, or else.
I looked on your Instagram, right, and I seen probably one of my favourite dishes, because I remember going to New York years ago and getting the corned beef sandwich.
Oh yeah.
Which is
and a bagel.
Silverside, isn't it?
It can be brisket, silverside, or actually topside as well can be used.
So you've done it from scratch?
I've done it in the past, not really, but the stuff that I've put up the minute, I'd sort of buy it for sandwiches. The stuff needs sandwiches. But
there's a wee shop in London, Brick Lane. I don't know if you know about it.
The bagel shop.
Oh man.
Yeah. Class.
And it's amazing. But that was originally a Jewish dish, I think. I think the Jews started that. But I would love to perfect that.
Oh, it's
We'll
lovely.
get back to the peppers.
So our pepper, you can see it's nicely charred on all edges, and don't forget to do the top and the bottom there as well. So what we'll do at this stage,
That meat for the oven now?
yep, so we'll just pop that in the oven with a little bit of olive oil on. Just a tiny bit of olive oil.
Okay,
And
just
a
over.
light season of sea salt.
Wee tiny bit.
Yeah, no pepper at this stage because we are going to roast it in the
Okay.
oven. So that'll go in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes, just until it's starting to soften and the skin's starting to come.
225, Johnny, is that all right?
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
And in the meantime, so our couscous has had about 5 minutes there, another 2 minutes, and we'll just check it. And the way
Okay.
we check it as well, see chefs do this quite a lot. Everybody tastes everything, so never just go by the packet, what the packet tells you, or even what I'm telling you, always taste. Almost there. Okay, so it's about 2 minutes off.
You broke your teeth there. It's not ready.
Yeah, definitely not. It kind of tastes floury before it's ready. It'll change
Does.
flavour. It's like pasta.
And I always say this when teaching upstairs, you get like a raft at the top when pasta's ready.
Yeah.
Get this white foam.
Yeah.
Like the beach.
Yeah.
And that kind of tells you your pasta's ready.
It's all the flour, all the excess flour.
Can we do that for you?
Yep,
You
please.
got
We
it?
can put that up on a high heat.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do at this stage, so our couscous is working here, and our couscous, it's not like pasta. You want to take it out and rinse it and cold water's dry. We'll cook that until it's al dente and has a nice wee bit of bite, and then we'll just drain it naturally and let it lay it out on a flat tray. It kind of keeps a nice texture then as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making the stuffing for the pepper. So
Yep.
in the meantime, we're going to get plenty of olive oil in the pan there,
Alrighty.
and we're going to begin by dicing up some tomatoes and a little bit of garlic.
I feel like I'm doing nothing here, Johnny, but it's great. I'm enjoying doing nothing.
So our tomatoes, we're going to leave the seeds in as well because they're quite
Okay.
nice for texture actually as well, and they're lovely. These are lovely plum tomatoes. We're going to do them quite chunky as well. You don't want these too
Rustic,
fine.
nice and rustic.
If you cut these really fine, you put them in, there's not going to be anything left in by the
It'll
time you
just be
try them.
pulp,
So
won't it?
straight in.
Got any seasoning for you, chef?
Yes, please. Good pinch of salt. As I say, at this stage, it's going to be olive oil as well. You don't really want to try this for veg oil. It'll go quite oily on you. The olive oil,
Olive
like
oil
like an emulsion almost with them. So in the meantime, I have spinach in this recipe, but I'll just thought as well, just
Chard.
to show you something a bit more seasonal. There's lovely rainbow chard here. This is actually from a guy out in Cumber who supplies our restaurant with lots of fresh veg. So
Johnny, tell me, you are operations director of 2 restaurants.
yeah.
Right, that keeps you busy.
It does indeed, yeah.
And you've got Bubba.
Yeah.
We're kicking from Bubba today, isn't that right?
Yep.
And we've got Coppi.
Yep.
Bubba's how long? Many
Bubba's
years?
4 years. 4 years, yeah.
4 years, and the pandemic in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, it was a nightmare as a
It was a sort of, everything was getting going, and then all of a sudden it was this
trying to
big stop,
do all that,
obviously. Yeah.
letting the staff go,
Yeah.
trying to get staff back in.
Yeah, and what
then
we done is, through the pandemic as well, we've done a lot of our food to cook at home. So we made up boxes of stuff.
Bit like we have today here.
bit like
Yeah.
Stephen has there today for some lucky people.
Yeah.
So we were just sort of navigating through it. Now that we're back, we're sort of came back quite busy. It's been good, so it has.
And Coppi,
Coppi's an Italian restaurant. It's 10 years. 10 years.
years.
Yeah, it's a very busy restaurant, sort of well established.
Yeah.
Simple, modern Italian.
and then I seen Coppi used to run the wee van out the front and stuff. Is that still happening this
It's not
summer?
anymore. No, we used to. The company changed a few years back, and
Yeah.
the van was part of the sort of deal.
The other deal, okay.
But
Yeah.
what we do is we still are available for takeaway, and anybody that's sort of looking pasta as well. We're trying to work with people as well. We want to buy some fresh pasta on again as well.
You have to adapt now, don't you?
You do. Everything's about adapting now.
Yeah.
So you'll see our tomatoes here, they're slightly caramelising there, and we're not going to crush them or anything. We'll let them
love
do their
that.
own thing there.
That's lovely.
So let them.
That's the
crack
natural
on.
sugars coming out of
It
that.
is, yeah, and that's what gives you that sort of flavour. And you'll see the olive oil will start to emulsify as well. So
Yeah.
what I'm going to do at this stage, if you can take the couscous off me, Stephen, and
course,
just
you
drain
want-
it.
do you want
for
to
me.
drain it?
Yes, please. Okay, so we're going to let that take over and do its thing, and we're going to add a little bit of paprika. And a little bit of onion to this as well.
I know.
Our onion's going to go in there.
Oh, God, it's all right.
What are you making?
So it's a stuffed roast pepper with, it's like a warm couscous, sort of tabbouleh salad with fresh herbs, tomato and paprika, and some fresh lemon. So we're just going to let that sweat down. That's our tomato mix there. I've got the pepper in the oven, roasting at the minute. And then Stephen's sorting out my couscous there. We're just going to drain that. It's going to get tossed in this with lots of fresh herbs.
Johnny
with
told
fresh
you
lemon.
dry or a wee bit of...
That's fine. A wee bit of moisture is fine because we're actually
like
going to
that?
add
Wee
it.
bit of moisture?
We're going to actually
So-
make it a bit saucy as well. So
how
we'll
much-
just let that take
Do you want some
over.
of this in now?
Just leave it at the minute. We'll let the
it
onion
dry out?
stew down here first, and then we'll add it in.
Okay.
So if we just lower that down, and then what we'll do is, while our pepper's still roasting away there, we'll maybe make the Romesco sauce, which it's a classic sort of Spanish stroke Portuguese sauce with roast peppers, paprika, cumin, lemon, and almonds.
So, just to update where we are, we've got our tomatoes, onions ready, couscous is ready, peppers in the oven, and now you're going to make a Romesco sauce.
So I'm going to get a wee
Which is, am I right in saying it's a roasted red pepper sauce?
roast red pepper with almonds and a wee bit of red wine vinegar and lemon. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our almonds on first, and we're just going to
Toasted almonds?
toast them. Yep. So you go with about half of them, Stephen.
Half of them?
And you can use
Oil, no oil, or dried
no
pan?
oil, nice and dry to begin with. We'll toast them, and then we've got a bit of already toasted cumin seeds here. We're going to add a bit of that as well. So you've got that, it's like an earthy, nutty, sort of sweet pepper sort of
The cumin
sauce.
seeds are for here.
They are. So we're going to toast the almonds lightly, and then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to add them into the cumin, and we're going to sort of pound that down a
Back
bit.
to modern pestle.
Yep, and we're going to put a little bit of lemon in there.
Beautiful. Lemon zest and juice.
Lemon zest to begin with, and then a bit of sea salt just to get a bit of traction in the mortar. You'll find if you start adding moisture too early on before you've mashed everything, it sort of goes.
Just to talk to the camera, he's actually letting me do something now, so I'm getting excited.
And as well, in the meantime, while Stephen's toasting the almonds, I'm going to start by frying. So this is, in the recipe here today, I have spinach, but it could be spinach, chard, cabbage, any sort of hearty green that's going to give you a bit of iron flavour.
Kale good?
Kale's lovely, yeah, it's superfood again, but they're all very similar, to be honest. And rainbow chard's something that doesn't get used enough sometimes as well, and it's all grown locally as well. So we'll take the stalks. You'll notice here, there's the stalky bit at the bottom. Yeah, 100%. A lot of people don't actually know. It's funny, and same with pak choy and all. They're actually probably the nicer piece of the leaf. They've got the sweetness. So
Do you know what? Over lockdown, we're talking about lockdown, Johnny. I grew pak choy.
yeah.
Over lockdown.
There's actually a lot of it grown in the UK. So
And
there's a couple of big farms.
grows dead easy.
Yeah, it's like lettuce. Like a solid lettuce. So
Johnny could eat pak choy is very good, you know.
lovely. I'm sure it was on a curry. So a wee bit more olive oil. You'll notice here, always olive oil with this type of foods because it's healthier. Plus as well, it creates its own sauce. Then you're not just getting a wee bit of split oil.
And I was taught, Johnny, years ago, you've probably heard this one, what grows together goes together.
Yeah, 100%, absolutely.
So you're not going to get sesame oil and Morocco.
No,
you know,
definitely not.
You know,
So our leaves are, you'll notice here, I'm going to bring the heat up a wee bit gently, and then we're going to start to fry them again. The reason why I left that to sit a wee minute there was to let them onions soften. You know, if you start adding the leaves too early on, your onions will be a wee bit raw there still. So we'll just let it come
I'm loving this, Johnny.
a wee bit slowly. Just controlling that heat.
I know you like your barbecues and you like your meat, but would you kind of do a
Vegan food, me and my wife would eat vegan once, twice a week.
Once or
Always just a wee bit of mindfulness, not eating too much meat. But it is actually, to be honest, vegan food can be really exciting as well. You talk about barbecue, there's some lovely recipes. So he's like roasted whole pieces of veg done as like on a rotisserie with like a glaze of mushroom or maizo or something like that as well. But it's like there's so much you can do for us.
I know, and I think Indian food and Moroccan food lends itself
it
to
does,
vegan.
yeah.
We had a vegan class on Saturday there, and I tell you what, we've done 3 courses, and it was nearly all Moroccan, to be honest with you, Johnny.
So our almonds, I can smell them now. They're what I would say ready. Yep. So straight into the cumin, and then what we'll do is whenever you're crushing anything, I'm showing this in the pestle mortar. A lot of people have these and never actually use them. Or some
ahead,
people
John,
don't
you
really
take
use them.
over.
So we'll put a bit of salt in there.
You want me to do this? Yeah.
If you could do that, if you grind them up for me, Stephen, please.
And then the zest afterwards?
I'm going to put zest, and then what we'll do is we'll put the zest, and then I'm going to put in some of these lovely. For this, you don't really need a roast your own peppers, to be honest. Tin roast peppers, or even a jar. Like it's a local company, Tom and I, are based in Belfast. Their stuff's fabulous. You can buy like their tin, or even Sainsbury's.
St. George's Market?
St. George's Market on a Saturday and a Sunday. Yep, they're brilliant. And all
We're here to promote Forestside Shopping Centre, for goodness.
Well, Sainsbury's as well. Behind you. So what we'll do is, I'm going to take some of these out. And the
I'll be
good thing
getting
is
the sack.
they're very soft as well, so all the work's kind of done for you. You're not worrying too much.
Johnny, how rustic do you want this, chef?
That's about right there, Stephen. And then I put some of these in. If you can just.
Do you want? So we're going down again, yes?
Yep. So if you can just crush that again, you might need a tiny bit more salt just to get it moving. See what you think.
I'll do what you tell me, chef.
That's it.
I like this, Johnny. A wee bit more, Johnny, do you think? Or what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to give you another bit of pepper here. And you'll
I
see
don't want
like
to go too far with this here.
This sauce is really, really simple as well. Look how quickly it's came together as well there.
It's amazing.
And it works brilliantly. Like this sauce is classically paired with fish or a bit of grilled meat, or again, vegan dish here. You know, you're thinking grilled meat, grilled fish.
Perfect for your barbecue.
You're roasting a lovely sweet pepper and you get all the flavour profiles and you like it. So you'll see our kale, our Swiss chard there has sort of
Don't let my wife
down
see.
there. The stalks are starting to get a wee bit al dente here, they're starting to cook. So what I'm going to do at this stage is add in the rest of the green leaves. And they're not like spinach, these do need a wee bit of cooking. They'll need
Johnny,
about 5
you
or
nearly
6
talk
minutes.
as much as me.
I do.
You're brilliant.
And then,
Now listen.
So the Romesco, what we'll do is we'll give it a wee
There's
taste.
tits like that in it. You don't
That's
want
fine.
that.
Don't
Is that all
worry
right?
about that. That's fine. Yeah, because it's going to be served as like a
I'm lemon
rice.
in here, haven't I?
So we need lemon zest,
Yes.
tiny bit of pepper,
Yep.
some lemon zest, a bit of the lemon juice, and
Yes.
then That's it. Just a tiny bit of red wine vinegar. Sorry, Stephen.
Yeah, I'll shorten it up.
The lemon
yeah.
will be good for the citrus, but for that real tartness, you want a wee bit of red wine vinegar there.
I love this. Yeah.
So again, you can kind of see what's happening here. This is starting to come together nicely. And the leaves, as I say, they're not like spinach. Don't sort of undercook them leaves. You want to stew them right down until they come like a dark sort of green, as opposed to that sort of leafy green. You can really smell this now. So you've got like the paprika, the almonds,
Can I get you cut that, chef?
couscous, and then juice probably a bit of.
Careful with the red wine vinegar.
Yeah, that's loads.
Maybe too much there, I think. That's how we do.
That's us.
Can I taste this? Is that alright?
Please go ahead.
I think it needs a bit more.
A little more oil in
I
that.
love that. The cumin's really, really, really good.
Okay, so that's the Romesco ready. So everything's starting to come together. You'll see at this stage. That's our lovely ragu. We're not going to add the couscous too early, just because when I add this couscous to this hot pan, it's going to want to cook. It's going to want to start cooking, and I do want this to come down a tiny bit more. You kind of see what's happening in the leaves there. See where they're starting to wilt, but we want to just make sure they're fully cooked there.
So, Romesco sauce is ready. This is ready.
For the couscous.
This is ready.
And what I'm going to do is the pepper.
So, yep, blue peter peppers.
Yep, so we have peppers that we done earlier, just prior to everybody coming. And what we've done with them is we blowtorch them again, but that same rule again, you know, if you want to just do them over the gas in your house or...
Are we peeling these?
Yep, so what we're going to do is we're going to peel off this. You'll see the skins will come off really easily here.
Yeah, this.
See, they're sort of peeling off nicely. And don't worry about taking all the skin. A wee bit of skin's okay, because it does have a nice sort of flavour there as well. It's just, it is a wee bit sort of bitty texture-wise to eat a lot of.
So Johnny, can you serve this cold?
You could, yeah. It'd be quite a good solid cold dish.
Taken away on barbecue.
Yeah.
We're in an imaginary world now, doing this 70 degrees in Northern Ireland. And we're having a barbecue and we have a big bottle of bubbly in there.
Lovely, sounds great.
And we're going to go up to your house and get a big lamb.
Sounds good.
And we're going to make a pepper.
So what we're going to do is we're going to just slit the bottom a wee bit, just slit a wee bit. Try not. I quite like leaving the green on there for a wee bit of presentation. It looks quite nice.
I like that.
So we'll just nip out. And again, these are fully cooked at this stage as well. So if you have the odd wee seed in there, don't worry too much. You want to take just most of them out. And any of the juices, guys, as well. See these wee juices inside? They're great. They're worth keeping. Don't bin them. Just sort of let them do their thing in the wee ragu there. Get the extra clear. They were about 15 to 20 minutes at 220. Quite a high heat. You'll just, it really depends on the type of pepper as well. You'll find if they're a bigger one and they're really fresh, whereas if they've been in your fridge a few days and they're a bit softer, they'll cook a bit quicker. It's more just that sort of getting to feel them, and once you sort of see the skin starting to come away a wee bit, that's generally time. These ones we just put in the oven, but a good hint here to do is whenever they're roasting, when you take them out of the oven, if you put them in a bowl and wrap them in cling foam and leave them 10 minutes, or a plastic bag, a Ziploc bag, anything, and it does it all for you. It basically steams the pepper. Then when you come to do them later, it all just peels away really easily. And this rule goes for like aubergines. Aubergines are good like this if you want to make like a aubergine dip, or if you want to make like a baba ganoush or any sort of things.
I like leaving wee bits like that.
It's nice. It's the same with like pumpkin. You know, people don't use the skin enough. Some of the skin on these products is quite nice, to be honest.
Are these going back on here to work on?
No, we're all good.
That's finished.
So I say most of them seeds are out, but don't worry too much about leaving a couple in there. They're fine.
Well, what I have noticed here, Johnny, apart from your cooking beautiful food, is you have a lot more to do in your time than Tony has.
I did. Yeah.
Did you notice that?
And what we're going to do is after this, we're going to do a wee salad quickly as well, just something just to show you. As Stephen says there, you know, we're coming into summer months. This to me screams of summer already. You know, it's fresh, it's light. It's not going to leave you feeling bloated after eating it. Whatever.
Is this being served in the plate?
Yep, it's going to go in there and in the salad. Well, I was going to do the peppers in the blue dish, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
So what we'll do is we'll begin by getting our. So we'll put our couscous, so everything's in here.
How much do you want?
I reckon about half that. Stephen, be perfect. And you might find as well, see we've got a wee bit of
starchy stuff.
Yeah, there's a wee bit of sauce still in the pan there, but as this comes together, you might need a tiny bit more.
Is this going here or
no? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on the bottom of the plate. So this one to me is all about getting this sort of, the reason for the Romesco in this dish, Romesco, is to complement the flavour of the roast pepper. It's a roast pepper sauce essentially with nuts.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
So it's more that sort of, with vegan food you find it, sometimes it's quite two-dimensional, there's not a lot to it, whereas this is making people think a wee bit, okay, they've got a relish at the bottom, we've got a roast pepper, or couscous. And just look at the colours and that, like that screams of summer to me. It's beautiful, like.
It's lovely.
So we'll just get a wee taste before we plate. So all that needs is a tiny bit of lemon. Quite nice. We've got all the flavour, the cumin, the black pepper and all in there. The salt's perfect. Lovely. So what we'll do is we will put our...
You want to check that first? You see if I'm good enough lemon for you. Sharp enough?
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll stuff our peppers on the board so we're not making too much of a mess.
Exactly.
On our bowl. And really, really simple. So just in.
And do you want me to sauce the bun here?
Yes, please. There, you can put
How much?
If you just, I reckon about a third of that, then you just spoon it right round the whole bowl. So they're going to go in like that. And you'll see there's a nice ratio there of the couscous and the veg and all, because couscous is one of them things as well. People would have sometimes would end up leaving a lot off it, whereas you don't really need to have a lot of couscous. You could sometimes have something else with it. And most veggies, like even roast veg, like some roasted courgettes, aubergines, a lot of like nuts and stuff would be lovely on this as well. Or if you're a meat eater as well, like having something like this paired alongside a roast chicken.
Yeah,
that's perfect. Okay, so our peppers will go on then. I'll start with the greens to the outside. Two maybe. And then a wee bit of our micro herbs. So these are this is just baby basil, a wee bit of baby coriander, cress, and then that wee dish will literally just finish it.
Beautiful.
A wee trickle of olive oil.
Big round of applause for our chef, please. Doesn't that look delicious? I can see that with lamb, but too.
It's simple and ready in about what 20 odd minutes there. Like
20 minutes, yeah.
Quick.
Really, really good. Looks fantastic.
So I'm just going to show you a really simple salad then that you could pair with this as well. And this will be really quick. It's literally just take a minute. It's all ingredients that are all, I've prepped them all today because I don't want to bore you with too much prep, but it's basically going to be a bit of diced watermelon, diced feta cheese, baby jam lettuce, fresh mint, and then we make in the restaurant in Bubba, we're kind of well known for making our own pickles. So our salad, this is just a perfect example of like the type of salad we would eat at Bubba. All our food, Bubba's predominantly a Mediterranean sort of tapas restaurant, but there's a wee bit of spice, and there's a lot of dishes like this where we promote vegan and sort of vegetarian as well. Not every dish has to have meat or sauce or whatever, so our salad is just a wee bit of baby jams. This is really simple, like we're not messing around with dressings or anything. It's literally just, we've got these mixed pickles that have been done with a bit of sumac and lemon and red wine vinegar and sugar.
Sumac.
So it's got like a fresh lemony sort of zesty. It's hard to describe, to be honest. It's like lemon, but it's not. It's not lemon.
Right.
You know,
it's like bitter lemon, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's really lovely.
It's a berry, sumac's berry. Come on,
and it actually
tree.
Preserves food as well.
Yeah.
It would have the same sort of action of like citrus and salt. We actually pickle our onions in.
So I think everybody thinks sumac is the actual spice mix, but it's actually the berry.
It's a berry, yeah. But it's lovely, really fresh and really vibrant. It has a lot of flavour.
Yeah.
So our baby jam lettuce, again, this is really, really simple. Our watermelon, this is just plain watermelon, just cut into chunks. And we let it in the restaurant sit in its own juice. And it's sort of like, it kind of macerates it, see why it's became a wee bit softer there. So you've got these harder bits at the top that weren't sort of sitting at the bottom of the tub, and you get a good mixture of everything here. So
this would be one of your sides or a main dish?
This is a side dish, yeah. But to be honest, like the way I would eat this, I love this salad. I would have this like, I'd have a spiced lamb with a salad and then a bit of bread or a bit of, hummus or something.
How many dishes would you have on Bubba?
On the menu at the minute?
If I was one of the general public,
dish-wise, there's about 15 to 20 dishes usually this way. And then what we do as well, we always work with local suppliers to have like fresh seafood on there. We had like last week a lovely wild sea trout that we bring in Peter Hannon's sort of lovely cuts of meat.
Lovely.
It's all very simple. Now, we've got a lovely big grill, so it's a good place to come the weekend if you're looking to sort of dine on a lot of different variations of cooking as well.
Price per dish?
Really cheap. Like our dishes go from $3.50 right up to about £12. And it's none of our dishes we don't serve dishes with like 3 different elements. It's always like there'll be a dish like that.
Yeah.
But it's that to me screams out for another side.
If I come in today, would I get one pepper?
You get about half the size. That'll be about £9, £10, and then you could have.
And then I can have that dish. Then I can have flat
that's
bread.
a good thing. So it's say like 2. If me and my wife are going quite a bit, and you order like.
I love place you work?
I do now and again. Yeah, that's it. I don't pay, so I have to. That's date night. No, so
that's that sort of thing.
We would get like. You'd have like a steak, so there's a lovely pecan steak from Peter Hannon's, like sliced with all spices and butter and stuff, and so you'd have that. It's all sliced for you. So everything's served where you can actually enjoy your time there. You're not sort of focusing on cutting into things. They're taking all the dining experience away.
Yes.
You know, our thing is we want the food
It's
to
a
be
sharing
right.
experience.
That and to enjoy yourself and enjoy your cocktails, taking the surroundings and stuff as well. So back to our wee salad sort, baby jam or watermelon, and we're just going to put our mixed pickles, and you can see all these lovely colours. We sort of
We've got sumac in there.
it's basically pickled cucumbers with our done with dill, and then there's sumac onions. There's fennel, which is pickled with a real sweet pickle because it's quite honest eating, a wee bit peppery. So we're always very mindful that all these different flavours work well together. So again, you're getting lots of different colours and flavours and textures. Like your cucumber's going to be a wee bit of bite in it there. The carrot's got a bit of bite. The onions are more soft, and
That's going to cut through all your rich food.
yeah, absolutely.
Isn't it?
And then on there, we're just going to put our feta. Now you'll notice I didn't put salt on this. I haven't salted this. Usually with salad, you always put a wee pinch of salt. Feta is very salty, and our pickles, we actually salt brine our veg before we pickle. It's a
back
sweet
the
pickle, so you don't need it again. Our feta on there, and then we're just going to take a bit of fresh mint. These are quite big leaves of mint. Usually if they're small, we just put them straight on, but with this type of size leaves, you want to maybe run a knife across them.
Okay, he's going all chefy on us now. He's cutting things. Johnny, you're cutting things.
And then just over. That's you. And then literally all this needs a tiny bit of olive oil.
That's lovely.
And that's it.
Super. And I'm going to put that right in the middle there. And take all this here. Johnny, is that it?
That's us.
That's all.
Done. That's it.
I could have went all day.
Salt and the roast pepper.
Thank you
That's
very
it.
much, Chef.
Cheers. Thank you, Steve.
Really enjoyed it. And thank you everybody for watching too.